can. Hello, everybody.
Jay Ryback said we should wait 30 seconds because there'll be ads at the beginning. So we're stalling a little bit so that I can do what Jay said. How are you all this evening? Do you have your drink and snack? Get yourself your drink. I'm drinking Pepsi Zero. I haven't had supper yet.
He's not going to get any.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Not at 8 o'clock.
See so many of our great viewers there. Darlene, Janet, Donna, Jim. Thank you all for tuning in. It's a great show tonight. We have a storm bearing down on us. So we're going to discuss that at great length. And later on, we're going to have Mr. Bubble Wrap himself, Peter Bernard, is going to join us. He was a weatherman, and we'll let him tell you all about that later.
He's not going to be here.
He's not going to be here in the house.
No.
He's going to be on the phone.
Yeah.
And we also have the ultimate prepper. That should be his rap name.
Okay, yeah.
Rob McKevitt's going to talk to us about getting ready for this hurricane. So stay tuned for Rob. You'll get some entertainment and some great information. And we're real excited because our first guest this evening, and she'll be here in about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, is an entertainer, the hardest working lady in show business, well known here in the Villages, a ball of energy, a great talent, the one and only
Patrina.
Patrina, there she is. You guys know her, don't you? A lot of you do. She is great. She's going to come here. We're going to put her right here between us, and she's going to talk to you.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, so have your questions ready. Oh, today is a sad day. I don't know if you can see. I've got my Gizmo necklace on, my Gizmo earrings, my bracelets. And because today is 1 year anniversary since we lost our pup. And we miss him terribly. We did go to the bench today, this afternoon, and sat and communed with Gizmo.
As you know, we had him stuffed.
We did not.
This is a doll. Susan Kilpatrick got this for Linda. And what a doll it is. They took pictures of Gizmo, and they made this. And it's got every little last bit of coloring that he had.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
front chest,
right there.
Exactly
this is
like
exactly the same size, shape, and everything. And it blows my mind when I come around a corner and she's laid it down somewhere and I think, there he is.
I sit with him in the morning when I do my readings. And it kind of scares people when they come in and see it in the den. But anyway, I do miss him, and we both do. But we're getting along.
We went over. Did you tell them we went to the bench?
We did go to the bench. We sat for a while and looked at the little pond there, and it's a lovely bench. I hope y'all get to go and visit.
Yeah, please do.
And hopefully we're going to have a get-together sometime. We're waiting until all our snowbird friends come back in, and I'm going to be gone a little bit in October. So it may not be until November. We got a telephone call, Jerry.
Yeah. Jay wants to know if Linda's going to do that to me when I go. If they can duplicate this, can you imagine how much material that would take? How much stuffing?
Yeah. Was that the doorbell? Was that our front door?
Oh, I'll go check.
Yeah, I heard a bell, and I'm thinking it's our little phone here, but no, it might be our front door. It might be our first guest. So anyway, we've had a good day. Been doing a little bit of prepping, and we'll be talking about that.
False alarm.
False alarm. I knew I heard some kind of alarm.
It was probably this Bluetooth.
I don't know. Anyway, so everybody's kind of a tither about this next couple of days.
Yeah, this one storm chaser said that there are going to be 2 hurricanes.
Oh, yeah?
One's a tropical storm right now. And you told me how to say this. Helene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Helene,
yeah.
And that's the one that's going to be a possible danger or affect us. And the other one is John, and that's going to bear into Mexico.
Yeah.
Oaxaca, Mexico.
Ah.
You ever see how Oaxaca is spelled?
No.
Oaxaca. Oaxaca.
Oaxaca. Well,
I looked it up.
I'm impressed, Jerry. I didn't know you could speak different languages.
But thanks. We've got over 400 people on right now. We appreciate that.
Yes.
And stay tuned because you're really going to want to hear Peter Bernard.
Yeah.
And after that, master prepper, Rob McKevitt.
Rob McKevitt, yes.
And he's going to give us some tips, and we're going to talk about that storm a little bit.
Sure.
Got lots of great people on there. There's Chrissy. She wants to know what your favorite storm snack is. So let Chrissy know. That's her hubby that's going to be with us after a while.
My favorite.
And you know what they did a couple of storms ago? They brought us, you don't know?
Oh, yeah, I do know.
They brought us all these freeze-dried things.
Yeah. We didn't eat them all. Can they?
We haven't eaten them all.
Can we still eat them? How many years can we keep those freeze-dried food? Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Hi, Nancy. Glad you could make it. And there's Ann up in Michigan. We don't think it will. You know, living in the villages has been so good. We've been here almost 6 years. Still got to pinch myself to believe that. And we have been worried about so many storms, and knock on wood, we haven't been severely affected by any of them.
Our very first year when we were here, we had a category 3, I think, predicted, and we ended up with a category 1, but we bugged out. We actually got plane tickets and flew up to, did we go to Washington, D.C. area? And
that's where we went to
Virginia.
see one of our kids.
Yeah. So to visit one of our kids. So, because we hadn't seen their home yet. So we kind of bugged out for a few days.
Natalie Smithard. She's
Hi,
on there.
Natalie.
She loves kettle corn.
Ah, yeah.
And so does Mindy. So that's a great snack. But I got to have caramel on mine. Does that have it on there?
Kettle corn?
Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
My shirt matches our lights. When we moved here, this guy had done so many neat things to this house, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
And they actually are programmable. So they can be Linda's favorite color, teal.
We got the teal.
Or they can be whatever.
One Christmas, our youngest son, at the time was pretty young. He, teens, early 20s, he put the chasing red and green lights on at Christmas. We were like a disco in here. That was kind of fun. But yeah, those are really nice. I keep them on at night for a while.
It sets the mood. Right? Yeah. It's the ambiance.
It's the ambiance. Yeah.
Well, Elle, thank you. We're glad that you're here.
Yeah, Lisa's new from Shady Brook, I believe.
Beth's in Pittsburgh. It's really cool that we were able to reach people all over the planet. And that is really fun.
Yeah.
Your first live, LW. We're going to try to make it a good one for you. So John is supposed to be here. It started raining tonight, right?
I went out a while ago.
Helene.
I went out a while ago to pick up a few things. I had a bird feeder I brought in and a bird bath. It's a kind of a plastic with the weight on the bottom, but I thought, I'll bring it into the garage. And it was starting to rain. It was a few drops, and I thought, it's starting. It's going to be here. So I also brought in some towels in the lanai in case we had a little bit of a water leak.
We have sliding doors out there. We have a lot of big glass panels. Yeah. And if that rain comes sideways, it gets into those channels, and sometimes we'll get a little bit in there. Not much, nothing to worry about, but try to keep it dry out there. Sue and Pete are here. Tom Drabchick was the driving force between, or the driving force for Gizmo's bench. So Tom, thank you again for that. And we raised money, and we still have quite a big pile of it to take to the Rescue League. Claudio, thank you, my friend.
Claudio. Yeah, we're going to take a check to a charity. Right.
And we're going to show you when we do that, so you'll know what happened to that money. Yeah. But we've got about almost $500 left over, so we're going to make their day one day soon.
And all of you that made that possible, thank you so much.
And Tom likes pork rinds.
I don't think I've had those.
I think those are the intestines, and they crisp them up for you.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Ice cream is a great storm food.
Mine is just a regular, real popcorn. Just popcorn. Just plain old, buttery, salted popcorn.
Well, let's talk about what else we've done here. Mm-hmm. Now, what about the outdoor furniture?
I have moved all the furniture on the back patio up close to the house, and I took all the cushions off, brought them in the garage because they will maybe take off and fly. So that's pretty much what we did. Brought in a little garbage can that I had out front. I call that my diaper garbage can when the grandkids come. Brought it in.
Our garage smells terrible right now.
We do. We've had grandkids here for the last 5 or 6 days, on and off, different groups. So yeah, and now we won't get garbage pickup till Saturday. So yeah, it's not pleasant. But anyway.
Well, you know what? We've had the grandkids, the 2 smallest grandkids,
yeah,
and there's some poopy diapers in that mess. That's what it is.
Which you did not change.
And Elton was here.
Yeah.
We probably got a.
Yeah. It's anyway bad. You might want to give a few prayers to our Navy, because I know they're scurrying around too when the hurricanes come. Our son David is out to sea, so put David in your prayers and his family.
Somebody else, if you want to send some good thoughts, remember about a month ago, we showed you Roger Meston, who his neighbors had a golf cart parade for him. Do you remember that? Because he was feeling poorly and waiting for a bone marrow transplant. Well, he got his transplant. And he's evidently doing pretty good, but he has to stay near the hospital for a month. Yeah, so you might give Roger a thought there. So
Roger could use your prayers, that's for sure, and his family. Pork rinds are skin, not intestines. Well, still, I don't really want to eat skin either. Paul, you can have it if you eat it.
We had pigs when I was a kid.
I did. Someone asked if we took our names off of the signpost. No.
We have before. This will be the first time we haven't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's real easy to take them off. You know, you can get your pliers and unbend those hooks and take it off, or you just take the whole pole off and take it in. That's what you need to do.
Hi, Mike and Mary. Yay, they're coming next week. Yay, we're so excited. Our snowbird friends are coming back. So fly on in. Hopefully it'll be nice and calm when you get back. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we took our flag down and brought it in.
Yeah.
And but you know, you look around at your neighbors, and there's a big old gas grill sitting over there.
Yeah.
Is that gonna come flying through our lanai?
Yeah, we got glass line. They don't. So yeah. Oh my. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. What else did we do? Well, I got something handy. I made this for Jerry and myself. It's a little whistle. I do. I have a little whistle, and it's got my address on it, my address label. So I'll be wearing that.
If she blows away, it'll have her address on it.
If I get knocked out, hit by a tree or whatever, somebody will find me, know who I am, and then call Jerry. Or if I get lost, I can whistle. If I'm underneath the bush,
When you were a teenager, you might have blown away. I don't think you are now.
Hey. Anyway, he's got a whistle. I've got a whistle.
I've got a whistle.
Yeah, yours is over there.
Good Lord.
So I'm going to make him wear it. And we're going to wear it to sleep tonight. See? Yeah. That'll help somebody.
Is my address on this one?
Yeah. Yeah. Our address.
I'm not going to blow very far. I mean, it might be 2 houses down. They know where I live.
Well, you might roll somewhere. Anyway, I have that ready. We have a basket full of
Brad, thank you. That's kind of you.
Basket
Thank you,
full
sir.
Of flashlights, and I'm charging phones.
Yeah, let's show them some of our lights here.
Our battery packs.
I like these little lights. They look like this, and in times of crisis, you open them up and bang, there you are. Can you see that?
Yeah. So we have the old standby flashlights too. So, and we have a weather machine.
These are the ones we used to go deer hunting with. I'm kidding.
And I have a weather radio somewhere in this house. I can't find it. That's not going to help us, is it? Anyway, here's the manual to it.
Yeah. We have the manual to a weather radio.
Does that count for anything?
Yeah, have that handy if you need it. So, okay, anything else?
Oh, yeah. I got my boots.
Christy bought M&Ms. If you do have M&Ms, and get the peanut kind, right?
Yeah.
The peanut M&Ms, those are great.
That way you have your chocolate and your nut. I got boots. Got my boots in case we got lots of water to walk through.
I was going to say I have my rubbers.
Anyway, those were from our farm because our farm got muddy. And so I brought them from Indiana, have not had them on my feet in 6 years, but they've been sitting in the garage. So anytime there is hurricane ready, I'm going to have those ready in case we have a lot of water outside and we have to get outside and go somewhere. I've got boots. Anyway, these boots aren't made for walking.
With that said, if you want to call us and chat for a few minutes before Patrina gets here, Here's our number. You can give us a call. We'll see what's on your mind. Let her rip. 352-571-9749. Linda's going to say, hello, you're on the air with Jerry and Linda.
That's what I'm going to say. That's right. Oh, here we go. All right. Hello, you're on the air with Jerry and Linda. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Fine.
Who are you?
Well, this is Frankie Kelly from Massachusetts. We've been watching you for the whole 6 years before we even started coming there. We started out renting in your neighborhood, and last year we built a house in Lake Denham.
Oh, wonderful.
That's great.
The big question we have is we want to move there, but we each have one elderly parent still alive. My dad's 91, her mom's 82. And we have 3 grandchildren as of now, and one of them's not even 2 years old.
Yeah.
How do you make that type of move, and how do you break away from your friends of 40, 50, 60 years?
Well, you do. I think you do what's best for you, but in your case, you've got a 91-year-old parent that depends on you. I don't know. You kind of got to feel that one out.
You're going to either have to be a snowflake for a while, maybe, or seasonal. That may be very hard, and it's very costly too. I know.
Well, right there on your screen, you see the name Roxy Jacobson. She's doing the same thing. Now, they've bought a home here and they spend a lot of time here, but they're back and forth to California for exactly the same reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our big issue. We understand the parent issue, but my dad doesn't live with us. He lives with my sister. So that one thing, but my mother-in-law lives with us. But the question is, how did you break it to everyone that you were going to be moving? I mean, we've lived here for 60 years.
Yeah.
And to all of a sudden tell our friends and our kids and grandkids that we're going to move out of state. That's the real tug at the strings.
Yeah, it is. It's like a Band-Aid. You just got to rip it off.
It's hard. It is difficult, especially with little grandchildren too. Ours now are visiting, and 2 of our sons have moved to Florida. So that's a good thing for us, but it may not work out for other people.
Yeah, we had it easier than you. Our sons were gone and never going to return to Southern Indiana, probably.
Yeah, we have 4, and they're all bound up here with jobs and lives and children in school. So, well, I know it's a tough conundrum. We have a 5-year plan, but everything is subject to change. But hey, I just wanted to call in and say it's wonderful listening to you. I don't always catch you live, but been watching you on YouTube. I just had a second total knee replacement, so you've been entertaining me for the last couple of weeks on a daily basis.
Well, thank you. And Frankie, sometimes you got to do what you said. You've been over 60 years there, so sooner or later you have to do what's best for you, and everybody will understand.
Yeah. Well, we wish you luck, and thank you so much for calling in.
RD. You both stayed safe during the storm, and we'll follow you on TV. So be well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I was going to say RD's in Maui watching us.
Wow.
It's probably 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock out there.
Maybe so. Hello, you're on the air with Jerry and Linda. Who are we speaking to?
Hi, this is Joe. Me and my wife Kathy are from New Jersey.
Well, thank you for calling in. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make a comment. We watch you all the time. We love your show. My sister lives outside of the Villages in Ocala. We're going to be headed down there next year. We're going to take her right out to one of the town squares. We'd love to bump into you somewhere.
Well, just give us a shout. We always say, if we can make it happen, we'll try.
We'll try. Well, thank you for watching.
That's great. And, I know you guys from watching the show. You don't drink, but if I did see it right into, I'd love to buy you both a beer.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can buy me one and I'll let you drink it.
That sounds good.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling.
Be safe with the weather.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was New Jersey and Massachusetts. Wow. We get a lot of folks. You wouldn't believe how many New Jersey folks live here in the Villages. There are lots of them. We're nice people.
Yeah.
They talk funny, but they're nice people.
Here we go.
It's a joke.
Hello. How are you? Come on in. Did you sit right here?
Me now?
Yeah, you can come in now. We are so thrilled to have Patrina in the house, and she's going to join us here.
Yeah,
we'll let her catch her breath
Catch
and
your breath. And I've got
settle
water for
in.
you. We heard the door open. Someone's coming in.
I've already told them. Were you watching at the beginning?
I was, yeah.
I said you're the hardest working person
I
in
saw
show
that. I
business.
heard that. I was like, yes, they're saying all the right things.
We'll
here.
scoot this over, Linda. Take a pillow.
All right. We're going to sit in the middle.
I got a little gift for you both.
Oh, you did not need to do that.
Oh, I know, but they're fun things.
Okay, good to see you.
Oh, we're so
Thanks for
glad
having me. I didn't get to do this. Oh, wow.
All right, you sit in the middle.
In
Hold
the middle.
Hold that thought. We will get your calls after we talk to Patrina.
Oh, hello.
This is maybe a 4-hour show tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Little gift bag.
Oh.
See, I showed them your photo.
People don't like the photos, do they?
So you've been here about 14 years, haven't you?
16.
16 years.
16 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were just a baby.
I was, yes. I got 2 birthdays. So, yeah, I'm just turned 11.
I gotta sit on a pillow.
Yeah, you've got to be up here, have you?
I gotta
Yeah.
get high
You're right.
here, so
You got
I
up?
can be with y'all.
So, yeah, I've been here 16 years. I'm 11-year-old American.
Very good.
So, yeah. 11.
Wow. So how do you like it here?
Oh, love it. Who
Do
wouldn't?
you?
Who wouldn't love it
I
here?
know,
It's
really.
great.
Well, we've been here 6, and we just can't imagine life back in Indiana. 6 years
Mhm.
now.
You've only been here 6 years.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm the newbie, but you are still the newbies, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, you are the
We
newbies.
are the
Now we have caught your I wouldn't say act, but we've watched you perform many times,
Mhm.
and she is just a ball of energy on the
Oh, my
stage and
gosh.
very enthusiastic, and she develops a real rapport with the
Yeah.
crowd. You
Mhm.
really relate to these folks,
Mhm.
and
you love what you do.
I do love what I do.
You
yeah.
also go all over the place. You've gone to retirement homes.
Yeah.
Or, what do you call those homes? I
Yeah.
don't know what you call
The
them.
assisted
folks.
livings,
Assisted
memory
living,
cares,
Old
memory
folks
care
home.
yeah,
everywhere.
independent
Old-
living,
old folks
and
on, like,
everything,
our
everything.
home.
Yeah,
So that's amazing. I bet they really enjoy you.
they do. You
Yeah.
know, at the end of the day, people are just people, and you can't be intimidated by people because at the end of the day, they want you to just talk to them.
Mhm.
You know, and you know, singers sometimes just sit in the corner and sing, but I'm like, you know, they want to be spoken to.
That's
They're
true.
real people. You know, we've got
yeah,
to make them feel like they're still young again and
yes.
tease them. I love teasing people. So, you know.
I'm going to tease Joy Scadden right now. Now, Joy, you know I'm a teacher, so I've got to say, were you paying attention when we introduced the hardest working lady in show business, Patrina? She performs, well, at the Old Mill Theater coming up.
That's a new show, a whole new show.
Brand
yeah.
new show.
Yeah.
And she's been at rec centers and she does driveway parties. But
She sings and she dances while she sings. And she
I'm
gets-
not a dancer.
Well, okay.
I'm a mover.
She moves.
she moves.
She
She really
moves when she sings.
I'm a mover. I move a lot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not a great dancer.
Don't you love the way she talks?
No,
Yeah.
I've got her programmed into my Alexa.
Alexa talks to us in the
my
in
my
the-
husband, that's an English person too.
We do. We just
Oh,
love
that's
it.
so funny.
Yeah.
I get jealous actually. 'Cause
Well,
she's,
tell us when you got here. Did you move into the villages 16 years ago?
when I first moved over here, well, my sister lives in Windermere.
Okay.
So my sister was
Yep.
the one that sponsored me into the country for like 13 years.
Oh,
13 years it took me to get into this country. And
wow.
so when the time came here, I turned 40. So it's good timing, right? Life
Yeah.
begins at 40.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's
And,
what it does.
And I lived with my sister and her husband for a whole year before just trying to figure out
What to do?
what I'm going to be doing. And I didn't think I was going to be entertaining because I didn't think anybody's going to get me. I thought I'm a bit weird for like people.
Well, how long have you been singing?
Well, I was a bit of a late starter actually. I was an entertainer before I was a singer for a British tour company called Air Tours and then Thompson's. So I was always around British people, just entertaining them on holiday. And then singing kind of came later. So I was more of a, the all round, like the one you see on the cruise ship.
Mhm.
I wasn't
Yes.
on cruise ships. I was in like Mediterranean and things like that. They always put me in the quietest part of the island.
Ah.
Loud Patrina in the quietest part of the
You
island.
you woke them up.
Yeah, I did. I woke them up. So so that was my role for like about 4 years. They would move you on to different places,
Mhm.
and so that was great fun because I was like, a radio presenter in the morning, and then we do pool activities in the afternoon, and then we would do shows in the evening, and we did cheese and wine demonstration, everything you can think of. Teach line dancing, you know. I had to learn as I was teaching.
So you can do line dancing. That's something
I used to teach it a lot, but now I just know the basics. So I don't really.
Let's see. They might have a question for Patrina.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Hello.
Ooh,
you're on the air with Jerry and Linda. Who are we speaking to? Hello. Anybody there? Oh, did you hang up on
No. But I am now.
Okie dokie.
Oh, they went.
I thought they had a question for you. Now, you're from a place in England.
Yeah.
It starts with an H, doesn't it?
Oh, I was born in Hazelmere.
Hazelmere.
Yeah, but I've lived all over the place. I was only born in Surrey, so I've lived in the middle of England and the north of England and back down the middle of England, and I've been all over the place. Everywhere but the west, which is Wales. Yeah, so I haven't lived there.
There's so many great performers from up there. When you were growing up, did you have a favorite?
Bon Jovi was mine.
Oh, really?
Not from England, I know, but yeah, Bon Jovi. I was a big Bon Jovi fan. It was the hair. It was all that hair. I love the hair bands.
She's Maud, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like Peter Noon or Herman's Hermits or someone like that.
No, I wasn't really. No, it's funny because doesn't he live over here? Does he live over here, Peter Noon?
He's here a lot. I don't know.
He might.
I think maybe he's got a home over here. I don't know, but
you're young.
I sing some of his songs, and I think it would be right if he invited me on his stage. I mean, I sing some of his songs.
That would be great.
We have interviewed him. We can try to hook you up next time.
We've interviewed him.
You have?
We know him.
Oh, well, you got contacts. By the way, I want to say thank you very much for all your help, by the way, with iSparkle, because that's been huge help. iSparkle, you know, running a charity with a great team. Yeah. But the hardest part for me is getting applicants. And, you know, you wouldn't think so, would you? No. You wouldn't think the hardest part is finding applicants.
Patrina sponsors a scholarship, and I saw the young lady that won it last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
it's so awesome.
Yeah, it feels so good to give back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And there's such good kids.
Tell them about your charity.
iSparkle?
Yeah.
Well, iSparkle, it started out as an anti-bullying kind of thing, but you know, it was, the message was coming across a little bit wrong because they thought it was about the victim. It's about the people that will stand up to, you know, the kids. And I know bullying is all big part of our growing up, but sometimes it just makes my blood boil. It just always has made my, you know, and I've not had a good time with it, you know, with school and growing up and having to move a lot, and you know, and the kids just, you know, pick on you, and I got a finger missing, so that's another thing that I used to get bullied for. And they just knock you down, and you try to pick yourself up, and it's really hard when you're a kid because you can't, you know, if you don't get the support, right? And you know, if you don't get that one friendship that will just stand up,
that's right,
you know, to the bullies and be with you,
right?
It's tough. It's tough, you know, and you can get bullied for everything, can't you? Everything and anything.
Absolutely.
And I've seen your website, and you have information on the website, but not only about that, about it, everything she does is there. It's a good website.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I'm always.
And you want to tell them what it is?
Website.
www.patrina, as in pet, Rena, .biz, as in showbiz. .biz, yeah, .biz. Okay. I think .com's a bit common. So I went .biz, yeah.
That's what we have. We have .com.
Oh, sorry, not .com. It just com. And the biz came up when I have to go with the biz. I have to go with the biz. But yeah, so I must admit, it's hard to update websites. It's best to keep in touch with people with social media, much easier than websites. Do you find that? Because websites are a little bit of a nightmare to keep up with.
It is.
So I always like Facebook every day. And I mean, I don't do what you guys do. This is amazing. I've never actually done all this before.
You haven't done this before.
Well, I did the pandemic, you know, like live on Facebook. But I have to set up all the, you know, the sound equipment to make sure it sounds right. And wow.
I know.
Mike says you're really funny at your shows.
That's my husband. Mike A, that's bound to be my husband, Mike Aniston. My number one fan, Lowell.
There you go. He's on. He better be.
Yeah. So we have a lot of fun. But you know, there's a lot to learn with this. I mean, the pandemic taught us to do this.
You know, that's true. We really got big right after the pandemic, and then when they had Zoom and all that kind of stuff, and that was hard for us. But Jerry has figured this all out. He's the brains behind it all.
It's fun to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, we had all that time in the pandemic to learn, but we're still learning, aren't we? And I kind of stopped doing it because everything got really busy for me again. But I would have loved to have done more live shows like you guys. I just don't have the time.
I'm going to
No,
talk
you
to
do
my
it.
buddy Don Wiley to see how to interject. Like if we wanted to show you performing, boom, right in the middle of our live show.
Yeah.
I got to figure that
For us to
out.
learn.
Yeah, but it's all, and we're so self-critical, aren't we?
Mhm.
Like how we look on
Yeah.
screen, and do we look wide? Does the
Yeah.
wide screen, and
Right.
and we've got the makeup on, all that lot. Ugh. Whereas the guys can sit there with food down the front, can't they?
Exactly true.
Not that you do. Not that you do.
And how you act. Last week I was bubbly, I guess, and they asked if I was drunk. Somebody asked if I had been
Several
drinking.
people.
Several people asked if I had been drinking. Jerry
We should
and
get the wine out.
Jerry and I don't drink. In my cupboard back here is coffee, flavored coffee.
Oh, I love. We got to go.
And your wine rack.
In my wine rack.
Yeah.
Yes.
In your wine rack.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this, Patrina. If people come to your shows, which we highly encourage you to,
Oh, thank you.
what kind of songs do you sing? Can you give them a playlist?
No,
You
I never do the same thing.
don't.
I never do the same thing because every audience is different, and you just got to go by how you
How do
feel.
you learn
and
all
how
these songs?
Oh, you repetition over years.
If I ask you to sing a song right now, what
No,
would you sing?
don't make me sing. I just
You and
I just
Linda
done a
can do it
back-to-back
too.
gig today, and I'm like,
Now,
I like the I sing songs from the early 1900s to the present day. So the old sing-alongs, I call them sing-alongs, like the roll out the barrel, bye bye blackbird,
oh wow.
but
Very
they're
good.
kind of like she loves them. Chris says love your multimedia shows. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, glad you like them. That's a lot of work.
If
They're a lot of
anybody
work.
wants to talk to Patrina, has a question, call us in.
Now
The number again is, how's this for high tech?
there you go.
352-571-9749.
There you go.
Look at that.
Well, so do you have a band with you, or how do you have? How's your music? How do you portray?
Everything's tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably one of those worst nightmare entertainers that people don't like when they're musicians, and I'm a track girl.
That's
And I think it's
fine.
because when I moved over here, I couldn't bring my band with me,
Yeah.
and then it just became part of my
Routine,
soul.
yeah.
I mean, I was in a big band in the UK.
Oh wow.
And a swing band as well, and I loved it. I absolutely love singing for the swing band because you've got all the high energy
Yeah.
dancers. But yeah, so when I moved over here, I had a great set list, and then it kind of dwindled down to hardly anything.
Do you play music?
No, I don't play. No, my sister's like the musician, really, the family. I call myself the mess arounder.
The mess around.
I get away with it. I mess around.
She moves.
I move and mess around.
She's not doing a very good
I
job
know.
of hyping herself up here, but she's really good. You'll like it.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic.
You'll leave her show feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
to me, it's about everybody's part of the show.
Yeah.
It's not
She'll
about
get
me.
down and mingle.
Yeah, tease you,
Yeah.
pull you out your audience, drag you out your chair. I just did the outrageous. I got my other show, the outrageous music trivia last night, and you have to do things to get points for that show. That's going really, really well right now.
I'd like to come to that.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's a lot of fun.
And where do you do that?
And wherever people book me,
Okay, gotcha.
clubs book me,
Gotcha.
and because it's something completely new and different.
Right.
I reinvented it from like maybe 20 years ago, and I forgot I had that under my belt. And then the singles group in the villages said, we've done music bingo, we've done this, we've done that, we've seen your shows. What we want something different. I thought, I've got loads. I have to try and remember all the things I used to do.
Yeah.
In my 20s. So I was like, and then overnight I went, I know what. So I put it to them, and then I modernized it,
Yeah.
made it all digital, so it looks like a game show. And it is like a game show, but it's not just normal boring trivia.
Not boring
Well, when I
trivia.
say boring trivia, because not everybody feels a bit intimidated
Yes.
if they don't know the year, they don't know the song, they don't
That's
know,
right.
and they also going, "Ooh," and they don't feel like they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I created it where you got to do things for points.
Yeah.
And last night we had AC/DC was one of them. One guy just grabbed the microphone on my hand and sang, shook me all night long. This girl with long hair came up to me, and I got her hair and went, come on, let's headbang together. And I woke up this morning, I felt like I'd been out a night out in the 90s again. I was like, oh my God. So God knows how she felt.
Yeah, really. Oh my God.
But it's just hilarious because it's just crazy. And I like crazy. So
We like crazy.
You must have to stay on top of that hair. You keep it short.
Yeah.
yeah, my hair's very fine. You got good strong hair.
He
Thank
does.
you.
You
Thank
got
you
good
very
strong
much.
People
hair.
think he has a wig or a toupee, but he does not.
It's real. It's real.
He's had thick hair. Talk about bullying. He used to be a bright redhead.
Oh,
when he was a
were
young
you?
kid, bright redheaded kid. They called him
I got
Carrot
that
Top, with
Oh.
all kinds of names, didn't you?
Yeah,
Well,
I'd rather not talk about it.
it's still bruising him. Yeah, but I like the 80s look. I like the funky look, you know, and especially when you live over here and you're doing great. You haven't got frizzy hair, have you?
Oh, there are days.
Well,
there are days.
I mean,
And
this
you
is
know-
a golf cart hair. Too, you know,
I know.
everybody has like short.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. When I first moved over here, nobody had short cropped hair, and it's been funny because the funkier I got, the bigger my audience got, and the more they were coming going, we've had a haircut like you.
Oh, right.
Then I got this short hair gang people of like the followers. It's kind of funny.
Started
Really.
a trend
Yeah.
again. There
Super
you go.
stylish. Looks great.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Okay. If people want to hire you,
Oh.
is the information on your website?
It is. Yep.
And you do driveway parties?
Not anymore because I'm just too busy.
Oh, no.
I'm too busy. I can't fit them in anymore. And so, I get so booked up. I mean, it sounds, you know, a little bit.
Well,
I get so booked up, but I get booked up like 8 to 12 months in advance, and the private bookings and just the driveway stuff just has gone right out.
We went to one of your driveway parties. This was.
Oh yeah, I
our
remember
friend-
that.
Well,
That's when I first met you.
Greg Pangen
That's where I
is
first
our
met you.
Edward Jones guy. He makes the call-in possible. He's hooked us up and our burner phone and our amplification system.
And
And
he turned. It was a birthday party. It was
yeah, you did his
70,
birthday party.
and it was a
driveway
very
party.
windy
I remember
night.
that.
It was a thunderstorm coming, and we had lightning and
Yes.
thunder, and we were. It was really
Very
crazy.
good.
Yeah, and I thought the paparazzi were after me, smiling away at the lightning.
Really.
Well, listen, anything else you want to tell them before we send you on your way?
Well, I've got a show coming up. The cinema. I'd say the cinema, the movie house.
Old Mill Playhouse.
Yeah,
Mill Playhouse.
yeah, the Old
Sumter
Mill
Landing.
Playhouse.
Okay.
Ever since the pandemic, because I've created my multimedia music show, I've created it to have like movie backdrops.
Yeah.
So how it's created is the original footage is behind me on the big screen, but I've had to edit it, and it takes a long time to do this. But edit it where you get to see the original performers lip syncing to me.
Wow.
But it's not an easy task because it's so time consuming. So pretty much best way of calculating it is every minute that you see on screen is easily an hour to 2 hours of my time. So it's
he's
not.
been there. He
It's not
knows
you
that.
you get it.
He's an
Yeah,
editor.
video. We can all film, but we can't film edit, and
Right.
editing takes a long
That's
time.
right.
It does.
And so the whole show, and I'm developing it all the time, and there's new ones, and I'm adding. I'm hoping going to add a new section to it, actually, a little bit impressions as well.
Wonderful.
Comedy impressions, just like a little section. So, but yeah, it's a
Come
great
on,
show.
now, wait a minute. Hold on. We got to have one.
Ow.
You can't just say that. and
Oh my
leave.
God. Well, I'll do a little Tina Turner.
All right.
Okay.
So I call you, I need you, my heart's alright.
Awesome.
My husband's saying, at last, my love has come along. That's our wedding song. That's my
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
Well, listen,
I'm
all
not
that
croaky,
information's on her website, so give her a call.
Yeah.
She's great. And,
Thank you.
We're so glad. I sprung this on her today.
I know. I'm actually tired looking at how tired I
We
look.
all
Actually.
are.
I just done a back-to-back gig, and I thought my first night in, I said, "Oh, sweetheart," to my husband, "I'm going to be in tonight." Get a call from it.
Jerry,
I'm like,
and you couldn't turn
"Sweetheart,
it
do you
down.
mind if I go to like see Jerry and Linda?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Oh.
To be honest, I don't get much time to do this. So.
Yeah.
Mike,
great.
thank you for letting her come. We appreciate
Yeah, Mike,
it.
you're
He's a
doll.
good one. He's a good one. Thank you.
Well, we're
Thanks
going to
very
get to
much.
some hurricane stuff,
All right.
but thank you.
Yeah,
You're kind of a
thanks for having
hurricane
me.
yourself.
She's a hurricane.
you.
She came in like a hurricane.
Katrina as Patrina. At least it
And
wasn't
thank
named
you for
after
the goodies.
Katrina.
We appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Enjoy them.
Thank you. Bye, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Enjoy your goodies.
Thank you. Well, that's so
what is
sweet.
it? Have fun.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Do you
Nice
want-
home.
Do you need a drink?
I like the teal.
Do you
Nice.
need a drink of water? Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Be safe.
Thank you. You too.
I lost my pillow.
Linda has to get her booster seat.
Here we go. All right, guys.
Isn't she great? That
She-
was really neat.
She's so fun.
And like we said, visit her website because
Yeah.
she's one of these people that not only performs, she gives back to the community. And
Absolutely.
what a nice person.
Yeah. Mike says bye. Oh, Tom Rick. Good.
I saw something the other day I wanted to talk about, and we're going to call Peter Bernard in just a minute, but
Yeah.
please wear your seatbelts in your golf carts.
Mhm.
I saw a mother or a grandmother with a pretty young kid that wasn't belted in, and you over a corner, I thought that kid was going to be ejected. So please, if you're driving your golf cart, wear that seatbelt.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna get Peter on the phone here. We're gonna give him a call, and he's going to talk to us about the hurricane. If I can figure, Linda, talk to him.
Okay. Well, hello. So I hope you're all ready for a hurricane, and it could be, sometimes these things just turn and twist right out of your way after you've done all the preparation, and you think, oh, I had to do all that. But don't be like, what is it, Peter and the Wolf? Don't cry wolf. Just go ahead and get yourself prepared, and make sure that you're ready, because it's always best to be ready with your water, your batteries, everything you need. Oh, I'll show you this too. I won't show you the whole thing, but I'm just going to quickly add a little thing.
Okay.
I have a little binder. Actually, it's a big binder. It's quite thick. And it's got all pertinent information that we will need in case we did have to bug out. It has everything we need, all of our important numbers and that kind of thing to take with us. So that might be something you may want to do next time.
She's been very motivated to
next time. Yeah.
to get things done here recently.
It's a it's a twofer book. I call it my See You on the Flip Side book. That means after Jerry, one of us passes, it has important things to our son, our executor, what to do for us and what steps he has to take to be the executor. And so anyway, that is kind of a twofer binder. Hello, you got the right number? Peter, where are you?
Hi, this is Peter. Leave a message and I'll get right back to you.
Uh-oh.
Peter, are you out looking at the storm? Call me back. All right.
I hope he calls us back.
I cannot explain that.
Can't explain it.
But I also want to talk about this. All sprung from I was over at Walmart waiting for my bride, who spent how long in there the other day while I was waiting?
Oh, Jerry loves to do. Oh, here comes Peter. About an hour. He sat in the golf cart for an hour. Hello. You're on the air. Hello, you're on the air with Jerry and Linda. Who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Peter.
Oh,
it's
hi,
Peter. I don't know
Peter.
what's going on here, but I got you.
Yeah.
Peter who?
Peter who? Peter
Noonan?
Noon.
What was that last guy you're talking about?
Peter Noon.
Well, listen,
Right,
thank
right,
you for
right.
calling. And I know you've been keeping an eye on the weather situation.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people out there that want to hear what's going on. Do you have any insight for us?
Well, I've been watching all the channels out of Orlando and looking at the National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center, and it looks like this is going to be a storm that we probably need to keep a close eye on. It's going to be well off the coast of Hernando and Citrus, but as you've probably seen, it's a Category 4 storm with winds up to 134 miles an hour, which means the tropical storm force winds are going to be coming through our area. Now, before everyone panics, I know we have a lot of new people down here, village newcomers, but it's not the time to get crazy and think the world's coming to an end. It's just a matter of keeping calm and keeping your head about you and just doing a couple of full procedures around your house to make sure you don't have any flying missiles.
Yes.
And you've done that, I suppose.
Yeah, my wife and I this afternoon, we went out to the lanai. I had some chairs that we stacked up against.
Peter,
the
let me
house.
interrupt you for a minute. You are cutting out big time. Can you try to get closer to your Wi-Fi or whatever you need to do?
Yeah, I'm sitting right next to it here. I could try and reestablish the call if you want.
Yeah, just do that. Hang up and call us right back, and we'll try to get you.
10-4.
Yeah, so Peter's keeping an eye on it. You know, he's got the little wind gauge. He'll go out there and he can give us a reading. He likes to do that.
Okay.
Gotcha, Peter?
I'm with you.
Okay, that's better.
That's better. Thank you.
Okay, good. Technology.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we moved stuff against the house. If you really wanted to get crazy, you could take some things that would have a tendency to fly around and put it in your garage, but I don't know if that's really necessary. I would say to people, if you've got any potted plants outside and you've got a barbecue that's outside your lanai, bring it in. You just want to try and keep missiles from flying around. That's what we refer to them in meteorologically, is you just don't want anything around your house that could fly into a window and possibly break it, because we do not have, for the most part, have impact windows here. It's not code. When I lived in Pinellas County, we put windows on our house down there, and we had to put the impact resistant. Here, they just keep the cool in and the heat out for the most part.
Yeah, I was telling Linda, we brought everything in. You know, we've tried to do a good job. And I look 10 feet away, my neighbor's got his barbecue grill sitting out there. It's going to be in our lanai here.
Kind of like the weakest link, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody next to you has something that can fly around, that could be hazardous. If it's a real good, big barbecue heavy, I think we're going to be all right. The winds here are projected to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 miles an hour at peak. That would be not sustained, but peak winds. So what we're going to see most likely tomorrow is the typical rain band deal. So you're going to have a really bad period of really foul weather where the rains are coming in and the winds are howling, and then it's going to lighten up because we are far enough away from the eye of the storm that we're going to see the bands come through from Hurricane Helene as it makes its way up towards the Panhandle. The bad news is this thing is a Cat 4, so if it potential for strengthening. I haven't seen anybody talking about that, but Cat 4 is major. 3, 4, and 5 categories are considered major hurricanes. So we may see some devastation in the form of some flooding up in that area because the storm surge is going to be horrendous. I was watching earlier and they're talking up to 20 feet in some areas. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. You know, they have removed all the gate arms. Yep. And people are battening down the hatches. We appreciate your updates. We always do. And Parsky says he'd like updates tomorrow. Parsky, we are going to treat it like this. If there's no news, it's good news. We'll be out there. If I have to get Linda out there in that rainstorm or
I'm gonna blow away,
wind, we'll get her out there and we'll bring you. But if you don't hear a report from us, if you watch Facebook, not much is happening. So you can rest assured. But that's for my neighborhood. You know, that's us.
All right.
Peter will keep us posted for down there in Citrus Grove, right?
Yeah, and Jerry, my wife reminds me of something that I should have brought up. It's important. There's a possibility of seeing some isolated tornadoes with this tomorrow, and that is definitely a hazard. They can just kind of come out of nowhere. At least with a hurricane, you get a couple of days notice. With a tornado, it's really hard to give anyone notice on that. We can spot it on radar and put out an alert and put those. Hopefully, you have a weather radio in your house, and you can get alerted that way. By the way, if we do see a tornado in the villages, in any of our 3 counties, Marion, Lake, and Sumter, then you should get into an interior room of your house. Stay away from any windows that could shatter. Don't go out and take a look. Don't go driving around. That's another tip I would pass on to your viewers right now. It's not the time to go out and take a look and see what's going on. You might find that the roads are blocked. You might see debris in the road, palm fronds, all other kinds of debris, and you don't want to damage your car or you.
Gotcha. You still with us?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Peter, just quickly, do you mind telling our viewers what your background is? Because it's quite impressive, and I'd like to let them know.
Well, okay. I did television news for 40 years. My first job was in Pocatello, Idaho. And then from there, I went to Topeka, Kansas, and then Springfield, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. And then I was at Albany, New York. Had to throw that in there. And then I went down to Tampa, and I was down there for, Channel 28 for about 5 to 7 years, and then 17 and a half years at WFLA News Channel 8 on your side. And I did weather down there. I was an anchor and mostly a general assignment reporter. So I was responsible for lead stories on the news on the NBC affiliate.
Gotta ask, because I just love to ask things like this. What's your favorite story you covered of all time?
Oh my God. My wife is sitting next to me and said, "Oh yeah, I did weather too. I got my meteorologist certificate from Mississippi State." Wow. I loved covering weather stuff, things that were unscripted. I don't know if I could put my finger on one, but I liked doing what we called spot news, where we'd get there at the last minute and this is in the old days, we would put a mast up in the air 35 feet and tune in a signal. And I would go live from a fire or flood or a homicide or something like that. I'm not trying to be flippant about the terrible things I covered, but it was fun to be able to just go on the air and do a story and report it without any kind of script and just point and walk and talk. They wanted us to show people what was going on behind us, and I got pretty adept at that.
Wow.
I'd say. Well, you've got a great natural way about it, and to wrap it all up, I'd say you've told the people to get their projectiles put away.
Do they do the water in the tub?
Make sure that you have enough to last you a few days of basics. Do you encourage people to fill their bathtub with water?
If we lived on the coast, I would say yes, because the likelihood of the power going down and then the pumps going down. Here, probably not. If you had a chance to run to one of your favorite supermarkets, Publix, Winn-Dixie, or whatever, and pick up a couple of gallons, you'll probably be all right. The likelihood of our losing power here is pretty low. Our utilities are underground, which is really cool. The village has really thought a lot of things out. Those high tension lines that you see running through some of the neighborhoods, the likelihood of those going down, probably pretty low. If it was on the coast and it was a Cat 4 or 5, I would be singing a different tune. But we are inland, and because of that, it tends to, the friction of the land tends to break apart the hurricane, and also it does not have its fuel source, which is the Gulf of Mexico. That warm water fuels these hurricanes. As soon as it gets over land, it starts to lose its punch. Hallelujah.
You know, we haven't mentioned it yet, but yesterday I did a video. I strapped my camera to the bottom of a small plane, and my buddy Al took me flying all over the villages. And then we flew down the coast, went to Venice and up to Tampa, and and it would be interesting to do that same flight after this storm.
Yeah.
I'll bet those
You've
water
covered
levels.
a lot of ground. I don't know if you knew this. I'm a private pilot too, but I haven't flown in many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went down there for lunch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the $65 hamburger. My wife and I used to do that. We would pick a spot and just we'd fly there and eat a hamburger, and the burger was like $7 or $8, but I spent sometimes over $100 getting us there. But that was fun.
That's right. That's right.
Actually, we went to a place called Shakey's down at the near the Venice airport, and I had a sandwich, fish sandwich. It was $29 for the sandwich. That's a good sandwich.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was good though.
yeah, it was good.
I hope so. Did it come with a Rolex?
Came with some fries that were not quite as well done as I wanted.
They weren't crispy.
Yikes.
Oh well.
Well, listen, buddy,
That
thank
sounds
you.
like a pretty expensive meal, but it's quite an adventure. I love flying.
love it.
Aviation is. I get out in the backyard every time they launch the SpaceX missions, the Falcon 9s, and my wife and I sit back there. There's in the morning before the sun comes up, if they ever do a launch, then I'll tell you it is spectacular in the backyard. There was one here a couple of months ago, and it just lit up the morning sky.
He doesn't do early morning. Oh,
Yeah, I came by to drop off a piece of equipment, and you were the one that came out and you said, "Jerry's sleeping."
I said,
It's
Sleeping
9
Beauty
o'clock.
is still in bed. He's got to get his beauty sleep.
I guess I get up at 4:30 in the morning. Ever since I was retired, and I don't have any responsibilities, I
Oh
get up
my!
at 4:30.
Well, that's a little early. That's a lot early.
Mhm.
So
All right, bud. Well, thank you for
Thank
calling,
you.
and we'll touch base tomorrow.
Stay safe.
Very good. Everyone,
Thanks.
stay safe, and thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
That's Peter Bernard, ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen. He's our guy, jack of all trades, right?
Absolutely.
We appreciate
Great
that.
guy. Great guy. What do we have?
Well, I'm going to talk about junk mail. Linda went in I drove her to the, we'll get right there in just a second. We'll talk about junk mail after this viewer.
Hello, you're on the air with Jerry and Linda. Who are we speaking to?
Hi, Jerry and Linda. This is Rob, longtime listener, first time caller.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
How are you guys?
This is Rob, the prepper that we were telling you about.
Yeah.
And he's going to give us some ideas of what you may need in case it turns out to really affect our area.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Rob, for calling in.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad you asked me. I'm glad to be able to help you guys.
Well, I appreciate it. I know you just got back from a week or
trip,
so.
big trip out west, and I bet you're exhausted.
Just a little. We got in early this morning, so we got to bed around 3:30. But we're catching our second wind.
There you
Okay.
go.
Well, what are your suggestions for? I know that people could get out paper and a list and start taking notes. But what are your basics that a person here in the villages should have ready for that hurricane that does touch us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we came from Reno, Nevada, out of the high desert. So we were always prepared for earthquakes, wildfires, severe winter storms. You could really run the gamut out there. But here in the villages, I found it's a lot easier. There isn't as much threat. There isn't as much risk. You know, Peter Bernard made a great comment that these storms are severe, especially on the coast. And yes, we're going to catch the outer bands, but we're not going to catch the entire brunt of the storm. And with our utilities underground, you don't have the same concerns about losing power, losing water. It could happen, but it's not as common as you might think it would be. So preparedness is pretty easy, and it can be very simple, or it can be as complex as you want or need it to be. So some basics would be when you go grocery shopping, just pick up some extra food that's meals that are ready to eat, like soup or stews, and then have a means in which to cook it. So we're in an all electric house. So when the power goes out, if it does, we're not gonna be able to cook.
Yeah.
So a butane stove is a great solution, or any of the small camp backpack stoves.
Yeah.
Stay away from the big double burner propane stoves. Don't bring a barbecue and don't bring anything like that in because you run a risk of carbon monoxide.
Right.
So you always hear about 1 gallon of water per person per day. Well, the simplistic approach to that is a case of water is 3 gallons, a little over 3 gallons. So just a case of bottled water is an easy solution. We always have it on hand because we're always using it. People come work at the house or gardeners, we have that water ready to go. Yeah. So 1 case, 3 gallons. And that would last you, of course, 1 person 3 days. The other thing is keep your gas tanks on your cars full or your golf cart. Going out to fill up before a storm is kind of a bad time to do it. So get in the habit of just keeping an eye on your gas gauge. When you get down to about half a tank, just go fill it back up. You're going to fill it at some point or another. So at least you always have some fuel on hand. Another one I would recommend that's simple is have a radio, emergency weather radio, the kind that plugs in and has backup power.
Hold that thought a minute, Rob. Let me ask Linda, do we have one?
What's that?
Yeah.
I was asking Linda if we have one.
We do. We have one of those Warneck or whatever they are.
I'm sorry.
So these things are amazing. When there's a emergency, the weather radio will turn itself on, sound an alarm. It will wake you up, or for most people, it'll wake you up, and you'll get that weather alert. So you absolutely know what's going on, and it's from an official source. Because your internet may go out, something may happen. This is a means in which you'll keep the information flowing. And in times of emergency, having that information is almost like a security blanket. The other thing I would suggest are the lanterns, like what you had shown, Jerry. Lanterns are so much easier in which to navigate around the house. It throws a lot more light, so you're not going to bump into something, causing a small injury, getting banged up. It's a terrible time to get banged up. So the lanterns, they're fantastic. Flashlights secondary, but please stay away from candles. Oftentimes we see, especially in inclement weather situations, where people light candles. Candle either gets forgotten or knocked over, or sometimes by a pet. And now you have a completely different situation on hand you really would rather not deal with. I do always keep a fire extinguisher handy. It's just a great thing to have available. Especially something rated for grease fires in kitchens or electrical fires. Make sure you have an ABC rating, and that goes a long way. One of the big ticket items we purchased moving here, we brought generators. We have all that stuff because it was common where we lived, but I ended up getting into a lithium battery generator solution. So it produces both DC and AC power. The one that I found that I liked the best was the Jackery model, but there's tons of flavors of the same thing. As an example, the Jackery 1000, we plugged it in to a freezer in the garage. It ran over 8 hours.
Wow.
So these things are safe to use in the house.
Uh-huh.
If you have medical equipment, something you need to and
Yeah.
it's powered up, this is the way to do it. The alternative are gas operated generators. They're good, but they're not safe. Again, they produce that carbon monoxide. You can never, ever run one in a garage or in a closed lanai. It's almost a death sentence. And so if you have them, you're really conscientious about where you're running them. And in a hurricane situation with winds and rain, you really aren't going to have much luck putting it on the side of the house with the hopes that it's going to stay dry and it's going to continue to function correctly, as well as you're running power through those storm conditions into your home through an open window or door. I can go on and on, but it's the simplistic approach is the easiest one. Just keep it simple for yourself. Just things you need to weather a day or so. And then if you want to get into it more and more, then you can start going down that road. But the biggest advice I would give everyone is practice your preps. Get a plan in place. And then on a nice day, a good weekend when there isn't a storm, turn the lights out. See how you navigate with the lantern. If you're comfortable with that, try cooking with your new stove rather than trying to eat, spam out of a can, which is delicious, but not necessarily for everyone.
Yeah.
Rob, didn't you do that for a time period?
Oh, I love it. I do it all the time. It's just natural for me.
But I mean, you had a test to see how long you could go without, and what did that end up?
So we've done it several times throughout the years. But traditionally we do it twice a year. So in the heat of summer and in the worst conditions of winter, we'll shut the place down for 2 to 3 days and then just kind of work off our plans, make sure everything still functions as expected. And one of the big things I always noticed was we go through water like we had an artesian well in the living room. And as much as we were conscientious about how much water we use a lot more water than we ever thought we would end up using. And it's time and time again. So water really became one of our big focus items.
Wow.
But the biggest piece of advice I would give everyone is FEMA.gov has some really good comprehensive lists. You can take those lists and build a basic kit or a more complex kit. Their information is good. I've used it. I've worked with it. We've trained people in our community with these kits. We've helped them put them together, and they're pretty much always spot on. And then the last piece of advice, if you take anything away, take this away: practice. Do it when the weather's nice, when you have some time. Do it in small pieces until you feel comfortable with your plans, and that you can go ahead and perform when necessary in these kind of storm conditions.
One thing, we had David Casto on for a show. He's the director of emergency services in Sumter County. And he reminded us, and we reminded everyone else, that there is although there are some places that are called shelters or storm shelters, there are not really many places better than your own home if you're ready and you get yourself a spot. He encourages you to stay in your home unless there's an ordered evacuation.
Yeah, absolutely. Your home is your best place. You have everything you need. It's your comfort spot. You know where everything is. To get on a road in an emergency condition, and we've had to do this. We've had to flee. We were in wildfires in Northern California doing communications work, and the fire erupted. Had to get out immediately. And that's a terrifying experience. Yeah. So fleeing your home is a last resort. And they're right. Storm shelters, emergency shelters, they're all well and good. But if you've ever been in one, they're not as pleasant as it sounds. They could be more traumatic than staying at home and worrying about windows rattling.
Rob, if you don't mind, you have a military background. Can you tell the folks where you've gotten most of your, or at least some of your knowledge
and
on
training?
this?
Of course. So I was in the Army 14 years, and I had duty assignments in the States, but in Europe, I was a Cold War era veteran, and we were kind of always ready in case there was an insurgent of Russian activity into the European theater. So we had plans over plans over plans, and I was part of NATO at that time. So a lot of this preparedness came from that time. Just living in that kind of environment, and then moving into the Nevada environment, when I got out of active duty service, really reinforced that kind of preparedness lifestyle, simply because, it's a beautiful area. I love the high desert, but it comes with its risks and challenges as well. So we had to be prepared and much to live in that kind of environment, especially for myself, being an off-road guy, being out in the middle of the desert, chasing the old ghost towns, things like that. So it can go from 110 down to freezing at night. So you had to be able to manage yourself in those kind of situations.
Gotcha. So we're going to encourage people to get themselves not really a bug out bag, but a stay in bag. Get what you need to successfully navigate three days or 4 days at least, right?
Always 3 days. I would honestly suggest to people that, having a week's worth of supplies is a much better solution, but don't try to jump into it all at once. Get 3 days ready to go, work yourself up to a week, and then make the decision for your own personal belief, whether you need more of that than less of it. Chris and I, we have a pretty comprehensive plan. We've been doing this a long time, so we would probably be on the higher level of preparedness, only because, we had, situations where we were kind of locked into our homes, simply because of weather conditions and such. So having all that available for a much longer period of time just meant we'd have to go supermarket or risk being on the roads or dealing with the inclement weather.
Well, I know you're a huge Buc-ee's fan. He loves Buc-ee's. Can these folks get just about everything they need for a hurricane at Buc-ee's?
I think Buc-ee's is the most perfect place. And if you're going to start doing hurricane preparation, start at Buc-ee's. You're not going to be wrong. You're going to like the experience. Puts you in a good mood.
Yeah.
It's Buc-ee's.
All right.
And Chrissy mentioned on here, and make sure you prep for your animals too. And that's a great point, because they're going to be kind of nervous and scared through this whole thing. So what else can you do for your animals?
So we actually are dog people. I had St. Bernard. She had Samoyeds. So we had some very large dogs. One of the preparations we had when we had the pets was you make them their own kit. Don't make it part of your kit. You make them an individual kit that works for them. Seal up their food, ensure you have the water, the bowls, especially leashes. And if you have cats, and cat boxes and the extra litter necessary for them. If you try and mix it into your own stuff, it just becomes problematic. Separate kit for your pets.
Yeah.
You always know what you have. And oftentimes shelters do not take pets.
Yes.
So you have to have that in the back of your mind. Where would I go if I had to leave my home?
Right. And medicines, that's a great point for Lori brought up. Make sure you have your medicines, everybody. And well, Rob, we're gonna let you go, brother.
Perfect time.
Thank you so much.
That's a good point. I want to just comment on that. This is the perfect time to get the medicines. If you haven't bought them, go get them now before the cold and flu season comes on. Just have them on hand.
Have them on hand. Thank you so much for calling us and letting us know what we can do or what we should do next time when we haven't prepared for this storm. But appreciate you, Rob.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bud.
Love you guys.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care.
That's it. Get yourself a stay bag and at least 3 days, hopefully more. Take care of your pets. Make sure your medicine's all ready. And just hunker down and roast some marshmallows.
Find a good book.
I was talking about junk mail right before Rob called in. And I just wondered, she went to the mailbox and I waited in the cart. And she came out with a ton of junk mail. Do you all get that? If we get invited to one more financial seminar, I don't know what I'll do. We've been invited to more steak dinners. I'm always reluctant to take them up on it because you got to listen to their spiel.
Yeah.
And but there's all kinds of things. Insurance. And how about you go on one cruise? Next thing you're inundated with cruise materials.
That's right.
But I swear when you retire, you appear on everybody's junk mail list. So you're going to get lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah. There's Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. He's at a rest stop. How you doing, bud? And I want to just give one before we close out tonight. At Walmart, I noticed yesterday that we have an aging population, and some people had limps. You could tell they had a bad hip or a bad knee, or they were aged, or maybe they were slumped over. Every single villager that I saw returned their cart to the cart area. Every single one.
Nice.
And then we went to a Walmart in Leesburg. There were carts everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, these baby boomers here that get bad rap sometimes from younger people, you could take a real lesson from these folks
Yeah.
in doing your part to
Yeah.
keep this world running right.
Think of others. You have to think of others, and that you put others first. That's the truth. Yeah.
I want to give one more shout out before we go. And we've seen so many of our loyal viewers there. Thank you all for being with us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good show, my opinion. It was a really good show.
Yes.
But tonight, before we came here, we went to Cody's.
Yes, we did.
And we didn't eat a meal, but we got a stack of onion rings and we ate those. And we bumped into 2 sets of viewers and they were so nice. So we want to say hi to Kevin and Josie.
Yeah.
And to Cindy and Doug.
Yeah.
All great folks. And
Yeah.
we really enjoed seeing you.
Enjoying seeing y'all.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for us. You got anything else?
No, I don't.
It's a good show. We had over 700
That was
people.
wonderful.
I don't know what our
appreciate-
peak was, but it was great. So thank you for tuning in.
Press
Please
the like
tell.
button.
Okay, yeah, press that like button.
Yeah.
We had so many. We got to get another person on right now. Look, it's at 666.
We don't want 666. We want more.
No. But tell your friends about our channel. Have them watch us on Facebook as well. We're going to bring that storm to you if it gets here. If you don't hear from us, well, 2 things could have happened. It was a direct hit,
No, we're going to be fine.
or things aren't bad. So no news is good news.
Yeah. Stay safe, everyone. Appreciate you watching. If you liked our video today, press the like. Subscribe to us, please. Until next time.
See you when you get here. Hi, Natalie. Thank you.
We do that.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Not yet.
We're still on. Bye, y'all. Love ya.